I hope everyone's doing well. We're going to get into a few different things. Allow me to turn on my, let me just double check something. But I hope everyone's doing well. I'm recovering from a cold. We're going to also talk Tristan Thompson. We're going to talk Trump, Tristan Thompson. That's the cover, of course. He's talking about he has two daughters. You don't, sir. That child is Rob's. And see, that's the thing in regards to him and Chloe. Because remember, Chloe said something crafty about a year ago, stating that she feels like she's the third parent. You can't be the third parent. If Black China is available and whatever you do with your niece on your time is your time and Rob's time, everyone's kind of calling Tristan out because he does not spend time with his child with Marley Nichols, who is Theo. But let's get into the Kardashians has created some situations here, but we're also going to get to Trump. But yeah, they now have Lamar Odom talking, and then he had said something about as soon as he signed the divorce papers, some things transpired with him. But here nor there, Chloe did take care of Lamar. But yeah, that whole situation there, they utilized people to help with their show. Period. And now they're utilizing Lamar. And we see that. They're trying to test the waters. People really didn't want to hear from Scott. They really didn't want to hear from Tristan. And now they're trying to utilize Lamar Odom for a storyline to help Chloe. Because remember, Chloe was the one that talked about Mayor Bass. And she really didn't have that same energy for Mr. Newsom. So I'm not certain if they got rid of Tristan because he's traveled. I don't know if he still plays basketball for Cleveland, but they always have to utilize some man to help with their narrative. And now I don't really think Chloe's interested in Lamar, but we're going to get to that. But let me go ahead and do this too. Uh, so I'm going to go ahead and do my disclaimer too. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, All right. So just allow me a second. Uh, yeah, we used to be able to do a bunch of stuff prior to. I'm not certain why I have to wait to do it, but here nor there. We're going to get to this executive order that Trump is signing. We're going to talk about that. So let me start that from the beginning.
Titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case, acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. Elevating competence over everything else instead of the DEI policies that were pursued by the Biden administration.
I think everyone understands that. And Obama.
Yes.
Both of them. Okay, but Biden much worse. Not even a contest. What they've done is just crazy in so many other ways. Okay?
Second, for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case, acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. elevating competence over everything else instead of the DEI policies that were pursued by the Biden administration.
I think everyone understands that. And Obama.
Yes.
Both of them. Okay, but Biden much worse. Not even a contest. What they've done is just crazy in so many other ways.
So we're going to continue.
Second for your signature, we have.
He offers Elon Musk a White House bedroom. So are you guys surprised that Elon is definitely going to assist Trump in several different ways? So let's continue. And remember how Trump was like, no, he's not going to take over. He's here to assist.
I don't want to comment on that.
Families of the victims of the plane
I
crash.
don't want to comment on that.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the
I have a
first
plan
responders?
to visit, not the site, because you tell me what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with
Want
the
me to go
first
swimming?
responders down there?
I don't have a plan to do that, but I will be meeting with some people that were very badly hurt with their family member, obviously. But I'll be meeting with some of the families, yeah.
Families of the victims of the plane
I
crash.
don't want to comment on that.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the
I
first
have a plan to
responders?
visit, not the site, because you tell me what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with
Want
the
me to go
first
swimming?
responders down there?
I don't have a plan to do that, but I will be meeting with some people that were very badly hurt with their family member, obviously. But I'll be meeting with some of the families, yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. Hot topics, trending topics. That's the same thing. That's pretty much the same thing. Okay, we're going to get to Tristan Thompson.
Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dream, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dream, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dream, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my.
So he said it. Look, Tristan Thompson is stirring the pot only because they've had Lamar Odom making an entrance to have a conversation with Chloe. Let's just say this. Black China is the parent. Rob is the father. Where's Rob? Why are they utilizing these men to help with their narrative of their show? And I get that Tristan spent a lot of time and his daughter was very close to Dream. And it was almost like she was like a sister. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the issue with Chloe and Tristan. That's probably why they hung in there so long. Delusional in certain situations. You are not the father of Rob's child, of Black China's child. That's the issue too. That they wanted to also take the trademark of Dream. They were doing Chloe and Chris was doing commercials with True, Dream, Chloe, and the mom. Rob was nowhere to be found. Black China was nowhere to be found. And see, that's an issue. That's your grandchild, but the mom and dad is not there. Where's Rob? Where's Rob? So they utilize these men, and maybe they're tired of Tristan and people. Maybe they've lost views in regards to. I told y'all, people didn't want to hear from Tristan. People didn't want to hear from Scott. Scott's changed a little bit, but he was dating, who he was dating. But you have this situation where this man cheated on this girl. Look how they treat Chloe. I don't even like how they treat Chloe. Chloe puts her foot in her mouth all the time and she trends and goes viral for stuff that she really shouldn't trend and go viral for, but she says stuff. Look at how Kylie treats her friends. Look at how Chloe treats her friends. Look at what Chloe talks about. But you don't want the man you dated to assist in a child he made. Now, it's so funny how I was watching a show when Tristan had made the announcement that he did get someone pregnant and he would assist, but then he had made a statement that he wouldn't assist, and Chloe never made him try to assist, but here he is trying to act like he has a daughter that's not even his blood. But you have a child over there who is Theo that you're not even helping or claiming. Delulu. And it's an issue. Black China probably want to address it because she knows the truth of who the father is. Black China probably want to address him because she knows that it's a delusional situation in regards to sometimes how Tristan and Chloe think. But let's be very clear. Tristan wanted to be a single man. He wanted to be able to have fun hanging out in the hotels, hanging out on boats, kissing women. He just wanted to have fun. Chloe wasn't here for it. So she thought giving him so many different avenues or this situation and that situation, let me put you on the show. She awarded his bad behavior, which is not okay. He would continue to do what he did. He was going to continue doing what he did. So, well wishes to Tristan. Take care of your child, Theo. Help Mara Lee. You can't claim somebody else's child when you're not even assisting with your other child, who is Theo. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, Tristan's a trip. And Rob probably won't address it either. Yeah. Oh, it's Carmen. Good morning, Carmen. Yeah, I'm recovering from a cold. But yeah, Tristan is delulu. And I don't know if he wants attention from Black China. We know Rob's not going to respond. Chloe may not even respond. But they have Lamar Odom. And see, that's the one thing. People need to go back. Look at how, and those videos might have been removed, but I'm sure people got clips of it. Look at how Lamar treated Chloe before the divorce, during the divorce, after divorce. Look at Lamar clips when he talks about Chloe in interviews. Look at how Lamar said recently how after he signed the divorce papers, XYZ happened. This is the biggest thing, dude. Lamar Odom. He went to that ranch. Hello. You went to the ranch. They like guys that's problematic. They like guys that's famous, and they also like guys that's problematic, which is a concern because these are the children's fathers. But, you know, Tristan had another girl pregnant, started hanging out with, what's her name? Larsa Pittman, took Tristan to an event, and then Chloe snatched him from Larsa, but then Chloe wanted children by this man. 2 children. So that's the biggest thing. Mothers, I say that all the time. Mothers teach your daughters different. Them K's and the J's will do anything for clicks and views. And that's the other thing. You figure Kylie has children by an African American man. Chloe has children by an African American man. Rob has a child by an African American woman, and Kim has children by an African American man. So they might be trying to switch it up in regards to Kylie. Think about all the rumors. Oh, Kylie's pregnant. Kylie's pregnant, because they're tired of that narrative being out there. Now, Courtney not gonna play. Courtney has always dated Caucasian men. She's not going into that field. Now we think, but Chloe didn't try and bridge the gap in regards to Tristan spending time with Theo. Did you notice that? But no, Chloe liked to copy. Chloe liked to copy Marley. She did like to do that. Kim likes to copy a lot of people to try and get credit or trend to go viral. But Chloe never bridged that gap in regards to Tristan spending time with his child. So it's Tristan's responsibility to go spend time with Theo, help Marley, but Chloe was not wanting that. The K's and the J's want all the attention. We see it. When Kim travels to go viral with somebody that's trending, she don't want nobody else to have attention, period. So Tristan needs to really, really sit all the way down. Don't claim children. That's not yours. Go help with Theo. And that's why people are always going to say he acts, and maybe him and Chloe was kind of good for each other because who tries to take credit for somebody else's child? The father's still here. Rob's still here. If Chloe puts you in a situation to make it seem like that's your daughter, that's on Chloe. Where's Rob? They're putting different men on the show, but they're not putting Rob on the show. And you know one thing, Rob would tell the truth about what's going on, what's being said. Rob would really go off on those girls.
He's
That's
the
why
second oldest.
they
Those
don't
are
want
my
Rob
two
on the show.
girls, and I miss you guys so.
Hold on.
I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dreamy, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dreamy, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss.
And you see he's addressing Dream. Now, Black China's tried to be nice, and, she has been. But Black China don't play about her daughter, and she should not. Because Dream has a father. Who's Rob? But let's continue.
Which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg. A real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run the Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bullshit. The Department of Transportation, his government agency charged with regulating civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg. A real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run the Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bullshit. The Department of Transportation, his government agency.
So he's not happy with Pete Buttigieg either. So, yeah.
Two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True is the second oldest. Those are my two girls, and I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. Dreamy, I have two daughters.
Yeah, so everyone's talking about it.
Dream is my oldest.
And he's trending because he wants to trend, and he wants to spark up maybe a conversation with Black China. I don't know. And you see that he's addressing Rob's child. Why are you doing that? Why are you putting the children in media? You could send a message to them outside of putting it on Snapchat. Okay, Tristan, you want some media attention right now because Lamar's getting media attention from Chloe, which is kind of weird how Tristan treated Chloe, how they got married in less than 90 days of knowing each other. That whole situation, mothers teach your daughters different. Chloe's looking for some attention, and she doesn't want the attention that she was getting in regards to Mayor Bass. So that's why they brought that out.
Dreamy, I have two daughters, and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter, and True.
And then you see how he mentioned Dream first?
Girls, and I miss you guys so much.
So he may be, in basketball season, that's why he hasn't seen the kids. Okay, so let's get to this Diddy stuff. Okay, feds hit Diddy with new indictment. How do I say this? We had heard that there would be alleged more charges in regards to the indictment, and Diddy may have to deal with additional charges in the indictment constantly being updated. Okay, so one of his assistants spoke out. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to D Woods. We're going to talk Diddy for a minute. I owe y'all some Diddy news. Okay, so we're about to get to this. Now, his ex-assistant spoke about what he had to do. He released voicemail messages that he was getting from Diddy, which is definitely concerning. But we had heard that many of his ex-employers or people would be speaking out. Now, we can't confirm or deny if the facts of what they're saying is true. Can't confirm or deny that. But we do know is that some people were subpoenaed. Some people may be asked to testify in his trial. Now, many people got to realize Diddy's trial is set for May of this year. We're going to see if that trial is going to move forward. They have a lot of information to present during this trial, and we're going to get into what this assistant said.
Combs speaking out in the new interview with new allegations about wild parties and drug use. Eva Pilgrim is here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. At this point, we've all probably heard about these infamous parties. Diddy's.
And like I said before, and like I said in all my videos, Diddy's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. A judge, jury is going to have to find out if there's any wrongdoing. But it's a concern in regards to, I told y'all, some of these celebrities are so scared, they don't know what's on tape. They don't know if he was talking with them and that's recorded. Some of these celebrities may not remember what they actually did if they were intoxicated. Some of these celebrities are running scared. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Assistant now giving us details about what he says were called Wild King Nights.
It's official. I survived what I've been through.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times
Now, they didn't state the age of the women, but they said that they were younger. That may have been a concern because he didn't clarify what the age range was. When you say younger, she should have said 18 and above or something. But his assistant spoke out in this documentary. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Yes, I have to stop and play it. And yes, I have to talk in between.
have him with it.
Good morning, everyone. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before, where you're watching from. Everyone say good morning to Carmen. She's one of my favorites, and she's in the chat. So welcome, welcome. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning. I hope all is well with you as well. It's been a minute. I've been kind of having a good old, winter time. And just doing me. But I try and do my shorts, and I try and, because this algorithm is no joke. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Let's continue.
A younger female, there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the public.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those.
Now listen to these recordings. So concerning. Because this assistant could have been caught up in having things and items. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen.
Wild King Nights.
Phil, I need some Cialis. Give me 20 Xanax, please. Hey, Phil, I need a plan B.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
The alleged parties similar to the infamous freak-offs detailed in the federal charges against the star, where women were allegedly forced to perform sexual acts with Combs and others, often under the influence of drugs.
In the moment, it just felt like, what? Like, is this fun for him? Is this a test?
Pines bringing a lawsuit to Combs back in December accusing him of sexual battery and harassment. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His attorneys releasing a statement saying no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
And Diddy's lawyers also saying they are confident that the judicial process will find the truth and that he will prevail in court. And y'all, this is only the latest in a series of people who were in Diddy's inner circle going public. Robin.
Such a series of people, you're right about.
And then if you did not know, go check out my short from this morning. Day 26 actually spoke out as well. Let's get to the clip in regards to D Woods. and what she had to say in regards to her time. Hold on one second. In regards to her time with Diddy. Many people are speaking out that used to deal with him. They feel safer now to speak out than they were able to before. So let's get to that. What like the video, fair use reaction clip.
That he'll get out, that there'll be some sort of retribution. Oh, yeah. Yeah, even doing this, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say, maybe I should stop talking, shut up.
This is D
It's
Woods.
like, well, not talking hasn't changed anything either.
D Woods was a rising star. Her promising career launched by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
He's looked at as a hero of our community, and myself included, I looked up to him too. So a lot of people don't want to believe that their hero can be this other person.
But now the former Danity Kane member is joining a chorus of voices speaking out against him, saying she felt Diddy created a verbally abusive work environment.
I'm curious why you decided to speak up now. I would say that this moment now is a time where I feel like my experience, my truth will really be heard and actually considered and believed.
While the world watched her climb the charts with hits like Showstopper and Damaged, D Wood says she was living in fear under the glare of reality TV cameras on Making the Band.
It was not a good experience.
She's sharing her story as part of a new investigation Discovery docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
From the outside, he was this mogul. He was this guy who, could make your dreams come true.
Around 2005, D Woods was in her late teens, competing on Diddy's hit reality show, Making the Band 3.
The day we were chosen, I was like, it's bad boy for life, baby. So in some ways, a dream come true. Yeah. I think it was like a validation. This is confirmation that it's going to happen.
But the group
like the video, press 3 if you knew where you're watching from, press 3 if you knew where you're watching from, press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in.
The competition series came with what some saw as unsettling scenes like this one.
What's your stomach looking like? Are you feeling a little thick?
I always feel thick next to these skinny chicks.
You're like a burger already.
He did it in different ways with all of us. Picking and prodding and just a way to chip and knock away. But then praise you.
How are you dealing with that?
I just had to bite my tongue and let somebody disrespect me in ways that I never imagined. Like totally disgusting, totally just grotesque, like about the different parts of my body. Sometimes you're so angry that it brings you to tears, and then also not being able to stand up for myself. Because I knew standing up for myself right now is probably going to bring on more severe, treatment. I see myself standing in those dark, scary, predatory spaces and hearing somebody
Like the video. Thanks for tuning in.
say some of the most degrading things to me.
How was it predatory?
Somebody constantly treating you like a piece of meat, only valuing you for your sex appeal. And in some of the environments, it was even scary to be by yourself.
D Woods is
This
the
is
latest
D.
to come
Woods.
forward since Diddy's stunning fall from grace. For decades, the hip-hop tycoon seemed to have the Midas touch, the Bad Boy Records CEO turning artists into household names like Mary J. Blige and Biggie. Diddy then conquering other industries, from his Sean John fashion and fragrance line to Ciroc vodka.
Ciroc is for the culture.
His empire seemed untouchable. But today, he sits in a Brooklyn jail, awaiting trial for charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He's pleaded not guilty. The unsavory allegations hit the mainstream after Diddy's ex-girlfriend and former protege, Cassie Ventura, filed an explosive...
Now, we're also going to see what's going to happen in regards to Cassie and May. Like the video. We're listening to what D. Woods had to say. We're listening what the documentary was talking about. Like the video, press 3 if you're new. Press 3 if you're new. Press 5 you've been here before and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip.
Lawsuit in November of 2023, alleging he sexually assaulted her and forced her to engage in so-called freak-offs. The suit was settled less than 24 hours later, Diddy admitting no wrongdoing.
Cassie Ventura's lawsuit gave the blueprint for the Southern District of New York to investigate Sean Combs, and the lawsuits that followed gave the brick and mortar to build the case against him.
One shocking freak-off that prosecutors allege in the Diddy indictment occurring around that hotel incident.
Hello,
The new video
Philippines.
obtained exclusively by CNN.
Prosecutors said there was a male prostitute still in their hotel room.
Alleged.
That, prosecutors say, shows that Cassie was trying to get out. And prosecutors in court quoted messages from Cassie talking about the bruises, the fat lip that she was left with.
After the surveillance video surfaced, he spoke out on his social media.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full.
Now, y'all remember when he apologized and then he tried to say, oh, somebody edited the video? What happened to Cassie is unthinkable. This is the one thing where there's other times that we did not see what happened to Cassie. We saw when she tried to leave, because remember, a lot of his guy friends were like, she liked him, they were dating. You know, that's what relationships look like. But then as soon as the video came out, guys were hush. And they were like, man, you can't do that. You can't treat your woman like that. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Full responsibility for my actions in that video.
While Dee Woods does not claim she was physically or sexually assaulted by Diddy, watching Cassie's saga play out in the public eye has been painful.
It's very triggering, and it was very hard to watch because we were, in many ways pitted against each other, Danny Kane and Cassie,
Like the video, fair use.
I put on my social media. I didn't want to say a lot, but, I just had to apologize. I'm sorry that you had to go through that by yourself.
Today we are setting up this Chick-fil-A employee for anything she wants. You could pick any item you want. I'll go get it for you. What have you always wanted?
Ooh. Honestly, I really wanted the AirPod Maxes.
AirPod Max, that's very specific. Meet me back here in about 30 minutes. Can you take like a break and I'll come back with it. Now,
Hold on. Like the video. Hold on, let me skip through the commercial.
For Dee Woods, her time with Danny Kane came to a screeching halt when Diddy fired her, along with fellow bandmate Aubrey O'Day, on the season finale of Making the Band 4.
Based on a lot of things that I've heard, you're not really a happy camper in this situation.
No, I don't think anyone has been happy for a long time in this situation.
Okay, so you can go too.
Are you sure about
I'm
that?
positive about that.
In the docuseries, Dee Woods claims she saw what she says were inappropriate communications from Diddy to Aubrey prior to their firings.
Was there anyone you could have talked to about it?
Absolutely not. Each other.
There was no one to tell.
Because what were they going to do? So it's like, how do we survive this?
Diddy has denied all allegations against him in the documentary. His attorney telling ABC News the producers failed to provide sufficient time or details for his representatives to address unsubstantiated claims, adding he has full confidence in the facts and the judicial process where the truth will prevail. The accusations against him.
So what do y'all think about what Dee Woods is saying? Thanks for liking the video. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thanks for commenting. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. What do you think about what Dee Woods had to say? What do you think about what Cassie went through in that video? What do you think about Diddy making an apology video? He didn't say Cassie's name, probably because he couldn't. Hello, UK. Good morning. He probably could not say Cassie's name, but Cassie definitely got the ball rolling, and so did, you got to remember, there's still allegations that Little Rod has. So there's a lot that's going on with Diddy, a lot of different allegations. His attorney pretty much makes the same statement. It's expensive to have an attorney. Last night, I was watching a show in regards to the attorney talking about the new indictment. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Hello, Utah. Welcome. There's a lot going on. And then you got to remember, Diddy has a racketeering case. They really haven't said much about who's a part of the racketeering. And then you got to remember there's things that was defaced in his home, the items that they retrieved from his home. So there's a lot going on. There's going to be a video clip, and we're going to get to that too. There's going to be a video clip of WAC 100 talking to, is it the Art of Dialogue? And they're talking about, have you heard the recent phone calls? And he was like, no. He's like, well, your team needs to help bring that up. So we're going to finish listening to this, and then we're going to listen to what WAC 100 had to say. Let's continue.
are pure fiction. Dee Woods has never stopped pursuing her passions, returning to her theater roots and even performing on Broadway in For Colored Girls. She also acted in shows like The Equalizer with Queen Latifah.
Can I give you some advice? Men are visual creatures.
And released new music last year like Medicine. But listening to her past music with Danity Kane isn't always easy.
It's hard for me to listen to it. You don't listen to it? No. I hear the voice that was constrained and shrunken down.
What would you say to Diddy if you had the chance to talk to him?
What would a lot of people say to him? A lot of people are speaking up because they're able to. Now, some people are under NDAs too. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip. Welcome, welcome. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from.
I honestly do not know, but I don't think you really have to say anything. As long as I'm holding my head up high and my shoulders back. I'll use his own phrase. Can't stop, won't stop.
Wow. So that's interesting. Will more people speak up, speak out? And like I said, the trial is set for May. Let's see. We're gonna do a quick Diddy update. Let me get this going. I want to find the video in regards to what Whack 100 had to say though. I'm trying to see if I can find it through. Hold on one second. And like I said, Making the Band spoke up too. Let me see. Let me see if Hollywood Unlocked has it. Let's see. Yeah, I saw the video of Wax speaking up. There we go.
Right now, Jim. What do you think? I believe Puffy may have engaged in some activity. Right. They say the inmates they fight each other over.
I can't confirm or deny.
Anybody doing that is participating in the activity. If that's true, like I don't know, I don't think Puffy would have to say that. But what do you think about that phone call? Which one?
And then this is when he's going to say your team needs to do better because allegedly there's leaked phone calls in regards to Diddy and his son. Let's continue. Hold on.
What do you think? I believe Puffy may have engaged in some activity. Right. They say the inmates they fight each other over the right to make his bed. Anybody doing that is participating in the activity. If that's true, like I don't know, I don't think Puffy would have to say that. But what do you think about that phone call? Him and his son. Out of here. You didn't come on. No, out of here. Which phone call? Who does your research for you? Just you? No. I got an assistant. Yeah, you need to talk to him. Okay. The prison called him and his son when he's talking about is Jay-Z getting back to you? Not responding. Then he said, okay. Everybody out there quiet all of a sudden, huh? He said, don't worry about it. He said, yo, such and such want to know what to do about his card note. He told him, yo, man, tell him to go host a show or something. Don't you see what I'm dealing with? He said, but everybody's getting their laughs on, but we'll get the last laugh. It's a jail call. I don't know how you ain't got that, but that's crazy. Yeah. You gotta come back to the 100 side of Clubhouse. Okay, yeah, whatever you want. Come to whatever you want, man. I've been on before. This is content. This is content. Academics gives us all props. He tells us every morning, I go to the 100 side of Clubhouse, replays, and get content. But yeah, that phone call was wild, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, it was wild. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can up. It's no way.
So he's going to pull up the voice clip from Diddy and his son.
Called to his son. One is Justin, or yeah, one of them. Yeah, it was. I can tell he's kind of adapted. You know, I can hear the aggression, and he like on some, you know, his mentality is changing. Do not entertain nonsense.
This is alleged Diddy talking to his son. Like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty. A judge jury's going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing.
That's a threat. Keep going. It's gonna say.
Now listen to what whack thoughts are. Allege. These are whack 100 thoughts, not mine. Let me go back. She's on Pete's. Hold on. Said there's a release date for that Netflix special. So now listen to what whack. This is whack concerns. This is his thoughts, his feelings. This has nothing to do with Let's Talk About It Media 21. Let's go.
That's a threat. Keep going. It's gonna say some more.
He feels that it's a threat.
Another part two to it. The part two to that is, right? Now you caught that, right? Reach out to the producer. He's talking about recycling pizza boxes. But he said really there's a code. He's talking about reach out to the producer. Fuck that, and let him know it's gonna be a new term to that Netflix flick. You know, he's talking about something he got on audio, on the video, right? But he from there he went to like, let him laugh now. We're gonna laugh the loudest later. So I believe we're gonna wake up once he figures out whatever he figures out and accept what he's gonna accept. I think he's holding some things to try to get people to do certain things, whatever that may be. I can't see it being finances just yet, but me and you both know at least.
So let me know, have you guys seen the documentary? Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before where you're watching from. Did you watch the documentary? I've seen different clips. Let's continue. Fair use.
We're going to laugh the loudest later. So I believe we're going to wake up once he figures out whatever he figures out and accept what he's going to accept. I think he's holding some things to try to get people to do certain things, whatever that may be. I can't see it being finances just yet, but me and you both know at least 60% of whatever he has going on needs to cut back, should have been cut back, to ready and prepare himself for lawsuits and just legal fees and flow. You know, LA need to be shut down. Everything should be in Miami. Jet, go lease that out to somebody. Get rid of paying the hangar fees on that. Let that make you some money. Companies that take it, fly it around, get you cut. Sell some of these things and get ready. So I can't see them. I don't know. He's trying to get Jay to do something. What the Puffy has a boyfriend right now.
So can't confirm or deny what's going on in those cells. Can't confirm or deny if that was legitimate voice calls from Diddy from jail, but many people are saying that that's him. But I can't confirm or deny. So all comments are alleged. So Whack 100 feels that he's definitely talking in code to his son. So let's get to some of the other legal stuff that's going on. Fair use reaction clip. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before. Where are you watching from? Thanks for tuning in.
Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records, label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean Puffy Combs.
He got a lot of names.
Win for Sean Diddy Combs as he faces criminal and civil actions related to his alleged bad behavior over the years.
Okay, this is coming from Law Crimes. I always try and shout out the credit. This is coming from Law Crimes. Let's continue.
An inmate in Michigan who claims that Combs sexually assaulted him back
alleged.
in 1990s had his case thrown out of federal court. We're going to take a look at some of the wildest accusations that Derek Cardello Smith made in his motions and why he insists the case should continue. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
Sidebar.
Everybody, this is a long crime legal alert. So recent allegations against the multi-billion-dollar video game industry claim that video games are engineered for addiction. The claims include trying to make sense of the hold that video games seem to have over people, where they just can't put the controller down.
Versus owner.
Down. Every win triggers a over safety, and they're working to potentially get compensation for all of those impacted. So if you or a loved one has suffered physical or mental health, T. Brooks Correctional Facility out in Michigan. This is a guy who's...
Wait a minute. Somehow I hit a button. Hold on.
Who's been convicted multiple times for criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping. In fact, last year, Kardashian Smith, if you really want to talk about how we know about him, he appeared last year on a judge's live stream from prison representing himself to explain that he wanted an injunction against Sean Diddy Combs. According to Kardashian Smith, Combs owed him millions of dollars. So what he wanted was Combs to be prevented from selling his mansion out in Los Angeles because there might have been an alleged effort to hide or get rid of assets. But what's the connection between Kardashian Smith and Sean Combs? Well, in court filings, Kardashian Smith claims, he alleges, that...
Hold on. Like the video. Hold on.
In the 1990s out in Detroit. And he has even said that he has spoken with Sean Combs multiple times about a payout, even in person, which is something that Combs strongly denies. His attorneys later told the court, we don't even know who this guy is. But since Combs' team didn't respond to that lawsuit when it was filed, and Combs was allegedly served, the judge granted a default judgment in favor of Kardashian Smith. And that meant Kardashian Smith was apparently going to get $100 million. A default judgment is you don't respond, the court automatically rules in the opposing party's favor. So he's going to get $100 million. But, of course, what he would do with it from behind bars is unclear. But I will tell you, the victory didn't last long. Why? Because Combs' lawyer said, look, we didn't even know Combs had been sued, that we just heard about this default judgment in the media. So they immediately contacted the court to get things worked out, and that default judgment was revoked. And the case was also moved from state to federal court. Now, of course, during all this, Combs and his legal team, they are dealing with other major legal fights, including...
Like the video. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. We're just listening to updates in regards to Diddy and his cases.
More than a dozen civil lawsuits accusing the disgraced music mogul of rape and assault, as well as, of course, federal criminal charges that he's facing related to sex trafficking, racketeering. His trial currently scheduled for May of 2025. Now, Combs has always denied any and all alleged sexual misconduct and says he is looking forward to proving his innocence in court. Now,
so that's the good thing. He's looking to, prove his innocence. Like the video. Like the video. Let's see.
The best part about this.
Hold on one second. There's another clip I wanted to show.
Responding to a new indictment against him. In the court doc, Sean Diddy Combs is responding to a new indictment against him. In the court docs, prosecutors accuse Combs of knowingly transporting people from 2009 to 2024, quote, with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution, stating that he willfully caused the transportation of female victims, including but not limited to Victim 1, Victim 2, and Victim 3, and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions. The indictment also alleges that he, quote, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women that was verbal, emotional, physical, and at times sexual.
Alleged.
With the filing stating that he manipulated women to participate in orchestrated performances of sexual activity with Combs.
Alleged.
At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. In response to this new indictment against the record mogul, his lawyer Mark Agnifilo claims prosecutors are making a major mistake in their filing. telling E! News in a statement January 30th, the latest indictment contains no new offenses. The prosecution's theory remains flawed. The government has added the ridiculous theory that two
Like the video, like the video.
of Mr. Combs's former girlfriends were not girlfriends at all, but were prostitutes. Mr. Combs is as committed as ever to fighting these charges and winning at trial. The 55-year-old rapper previously pleaded not guilty to federal charges.
Yes, allegedly, really, yes. I have to protect my page. For real. That's what we do over here. I don't know what other pages do, but I will continue to say, and I thank goodness I've said, that he's innocent till proven guilty by a court of law, and a judge and jury's going to have to find out if there's any wrongdoing. Yes, over here, we protect our page, for sure. Like the video, please. Thank you.
Related to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking following his September 2024 arrest.
Because the one thing we're not a judge jury. We're a page, and we talk hot topics, trending topics. So let's continue.
I'm Dr. Karma Warren.
Like the video, like the video. Thanks for tuning in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before.
It's the brand new interview that could blow the Diddy case wide open.
He was responsible for Diddy's day-to-day life, so he is able to provide a lot of information about what that life was like. He goes into detail on extensive drug use.
For the first time, Diddy's senior executive assistant, Phil Pines, is revealing what he witnessed for 3 years while working for the jailed music mogul.
I think my life changed a lot from that day.
This is Mr. Pines.
Recovered from it.
But he says the term freak-offs was new to him.
And he also provides a lot of information about what we have come to know as freak-offs, but what Phil says were called wild king nights. He gives a lot of information about these group sex parties, what the setup for them required, what the cleanup for them was like, which is one of the most disturbing aspects. They did not realize the extent of the darkness.
Journalist Mara Escampo interviewed the Diddy insider, who sued his former boss, alleging sexual harassment and sexual battery in this 32.
Now that guy has sued Diddy. I caught that late last night. Like the video, like the video. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue.
Page civil suit filed in LA.
And I know you said he explained all of the items that were involved in these Wild King nights. Did he mention who would participate as well?
A lot of them were unknown to him. He did mention that a lot of the women were very, very young as 20, not underage, but certainly young women.
So they did cover that.
Why he's speaking out now?
Because remember, he was saying they were young. So she did say they were about 20. Not under 20. So that's good that we're finding that out. Let's continue. Fair use.
He said he's speaking out because he believes that he's a predator. He wants
Alleged.
accountability, and he doesn't want someone like this to run unchecked in the future.
The highly anticipated 30-minute sit-down interview airs tonight after the two-part finale of ID Discovery's bombshell 4-part docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
So did you guys know that it was a 4-part docuseries? Like the video, like the video.
The indictment says that these sex parties were filmed, and one of Phil's key responsibilities was to delete those. He was to scrub any digital video evidence of these events.
Oh,
Why?
really?
Because these are the same devices that other people in Diddy's life were using.
He said, I'm Puff Daddy. I'll eat your face off.
I always believed that I was the only victim.
Now it's one Diddy bombshell claim after another, where violence appears to be the consistent theme.
His rages, his tendency towards anger and violence.
Today marks 134 days in jail for Diddy after his September 16th arrest for allegedly running a criminal enterprise that includes sex trafficking and racketeering.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, often involved a variety of narcotics.
Today,
Allegedly. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip.
dozens of civil suits ranging from sexual assault to both men and women claiming they were intentionally drugged. Diddy's legal team gave this statement to Extra. Quote, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
The truth will always find its way, even in the dark.
Now in the series, more people who claim to be Diddy's victims are revealing what they experienced when the fall of Diddy continues tonight on ID Discovery and Max.
So that was a few days ago. So people have been talking about it. So well wishes to Diddy. A lot going on. Like I said, the jury's going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing. And he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, I don't know if y'all guys knew, but Shamar Moore and his girl has broke up. They've been together for about 5 years. Last night this morning, I had listened to him saying she's a great mom. He loves her, outside, RIP to Shamar Moore's mom, but outside of his mother, he loves his baby moms. She has 2 children and one with Shamar. So he did speak up, he's telling everyone to mind your business. But they're now broke up and they're not living together. Like I said, they've been together for 5 years. So it's sad that they split, but yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's continue hot topics, trending topics.
I'm really, really, really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. One of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. A treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will all miss when he is gone. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night.
Like the video. Thanks for tuning in.
Son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time. An absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from 3-point range. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. And I'm saying this with compassion. I'm asking the greatest player in the game, one of the top 2 players in the history of basketball, an ambassador for this game, the face of the league, a 4-time.
Do you think Bronny's heart is just not in it? If he's doing well in the G League, maybe that's where he is comfortable and there's not so much press and so much pressure. Maybe Bronny is just comfortable in the G League for now. I'm wondering how other people are doing that was drafted. You know what I'm saying? Last year and they're playing this year. I'm wondering how everyone else is doing. Like the video.
An ambassador for this game, the face of the league, a 4-time champion, a guy that's gone to 10 NBA finals, one of the greatest we have ever or will ever see, who is a basketball savant. You know, better than me, better than Doggy, better than
Redick, better than Rob Pelinka, better than any basketball analysis or analyst that exists. You know what these numbers mean. You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this?
So was Stephen A. Smith right for speaking up
I'm really
and speaking out? Many sports casters, reporters, podcasters have a lot to say. The goal was to get Bronny in the NBA, and he did that. You got to realize, too, because some people don't realize, he struggled with a health concern. And he recovered from that. And then he got clearance from that. Then he was drafted. So now he's in the NBA and doing the G League. So, well wishes to Bronny James. Let's see. Justin Haley. I don't know what's really going on with Justin Haley. She's been dealing with a lot. You know, we understand Justin has been dealing with a lot. I'm wondering if the pressure of or the concerns of what's going to happen in regards to Hollywood, you know, if he's feeling the pressure of. You got to remember, Hollywood had a lot of people probably doing things, saying things, and doing things they might not have done. Oh, that's what you called her? Interesting. Yeah, you know, there's been a lot that these, you know, Hollywood people have been doing. And many people are saying this is Hollywood, Hollyweird. My prayers go out to Justin because we can't begin to understand everything he's gone through, everything he's been through. Y'all remember the video when he met up with Diddy and Diddy was tapping him, trying to find out if he had a wire or not? Could you imagine? Could you imagine some of these celebrities and what they allege could have experienced? Hollywood, Hollyweird. And what's going to happen? A lot of that's going to come out in court. Prayers go out to Justin. Hallie is something else. I don't like how she copies Selena. One time I saw that Selena had a tattoo. Hallie got it. Selena wore a certain dress. Hallie wore it. Selena did an interview. Hallie talked very similar than Selena. That's kind of weird. She's friends with the K's and the J's, so they like to copy too. They like to copy too. She likes to trend and go viral for copying Selena. It's weird. Without her copying Selena, would we really be talking about her that much? Do y'all remember the video? I don't know if I might have posted it in my shorts. Hallie had gone one way, and then Justin had gone another, and they followed Justin. Not one camera followed Hallie. But here nor there. Here nor there. I wish them well. They just had a baby. There's probably a lot going on. And we don't know who's going to be subpoenaed. We don't know who's going to have to take the stand. We don't know who's going to have to testify. Like I said before, Diddy's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But there's a lot of people and celebrities that may have to speak up. And who's going to plead the fifth? This was the Whack 100 video clip we just played. So go check out Hollywood Unlock. And you can see and hear all of that. This is them going to J Hud's show. We talk about J Hud's show.
Of the victims of the plane crash. I don't want to comment.
So they're still asking him about if he's going to see the victims. This was an older clip in regards to Jimmy and them dancing to Beyonce. I can't play it, of course. Those guys hang out a lot. Diddy accuse her. This is in regards to the traffic issue, and there's alleged more indictments. Now, will there be an additional indictments, and will we hear more about the racketeering situation? A lot going on with Diddy. A lot going on with Diddy. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to play. Like the video, like the video, like the video, fair use, reaction clip. Let's see. And then if you did not know, Diddy's actually suing Corey Burgess. Corey Burgess spoke out, I want to say like 2 months ago. Like the video, like the video.
Allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, and among these new charges, prosecutors say Combs led a criminal organization. Breaking news now, prosecutors have detailed new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, and among these new charges, prosecutors say Combs led a criminal organization that they call the Combs Enterprise. Members are accused of sex trafficking and traveling across state lines to engage in prostitution, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Combs is being held at a federal jail in Brooklyn as of late, and he's already pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation in prostitution.
Like the video, like the video. Let's see if there's more clips I want to play in regards to Diddy. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. Let's see.
In court. Now, going back to Cardell Smith, the fight against Cardell Smith, this wouldn't be an easy one. He has become something of a serial filer of lawsuits and habeas corpus petitions and other filings in state and federal courts, most often representing himself.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
He's got these long legal filings, sometimes hundreds of pages long. They're full of citations and case law. I will tell you, though, Cardell Smith's personality certainly comes through in some of the language that he uses. He's also a big fan of run-on sentences. But anyway, attorneys for Combs have called out Cardell Smith, specifically that his claims, they say, are wildly untrue. They say his allegations are baseless, that Combs has never met him, that what he's trying to do is extort millions of dollars from a man who's already facing a lot of legal trouble. So they asked the judge to throw this whole case out. And that is what happened. According to the judgment filed in the Eastern District of Michigan, the motion to dismiss was granted. Permission to file an interlocutory appeal was denied, and Combs' motion for sanctions against Cardell Smith was also denied. We're going to talk all about that, but I want to first look at the request for dismissal. So Combs' team says, look, even if this did happen, which they insist it didn't, this case is time barred. The statute of limitations has run out. According to the filing in 1997, when this alleged assault happened, the statute of limitations was 3 years to bring a claim. So the court ruled.
Why are women everywhere choosing Abby X, the new tummy tuck alternative?
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
Get a flat, tight tummy fast with Sonobello's new Abby X. One visit fat and loose excess skin removal.
RPX is an innovative procedure that allows us to maximize how much fat we can take out and also remove the excess skin. The great thing about it is recovery is minimal and you're back to yourself in a short time.
I got a flat, tight tummy.
Well, because plaintiff's claim is time barred, the court grants the motion to dismiss. And what about that interlocutory appeal? What is that, by the way? So that's basically an appeal of a judge's order about a specific issue while the main case is still going on. So you're appealing an issue while the case still proceeds. But if that issue is heard and decided by a higher court, it can definitely have an effect on the entirety of the case. So here, for example, with respect to an interlocutory appeal, it's about moving the case to state court from federal court. So as the court's order mentions, interlocutory appeals, they are, quote, granted sparingly and only in exceptional cases. But there's a bigger issue why an interlocutory appeal doesn't work here. The court writes, granting permission for an interlocutory appeal would not accelerate the conclusion of this litigation because this litigation has now reached a final conclusion. Accordingly, plaintiff's motion for permission to file an interlocutory appeal is denied. Basically, it's moot. It's over. There's no point of it. Then there's the third order on sanctions. So Combs' lawyers want Cardell Smith to be punished in some way for what they say amounts basically to harassment and extortion. We've talked about this before on other sidebars, that if you're a lawyer or, you're representing yourself, you can't file frivolous claims and frivolous complaints and frivolous motions. They have to be backed up by the facts, the law. They can't be done just to harass or intimidate anybody. Otherwise, you're going to get on the bad side of the court and you'll be punished. So Combs' team writes, defendant provides several grounds for his request. He alleges that plaintiff, again talking about Cardell Smith, that plaintiff's allegations are wholesale fabrications, plaintiff has forged documents, and plaintiff has filed meritless and duplicative documents. So part of those alleged wholesale fabrications are apparently fake documents. Yeah, Combs and his team say that Cardell Smith filed things with the court that were completely made up. And by the way, even though he's representing himself, he's not immune from sanctions or being punished by the court. You decide to represent yourself.
So don't forget, that's the older case in regards to Diddy. Like I said, if you guys did not know, there's an additional indictment paperwork that's been filed. His ex assistant has spoke out. Let me see how old this was. Hold on. Like the video, like the video.
Decision on that. Welcome to the Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. You remember when Sean Combs and his lawyers were trying to get copies of his alleged sex tapes in his criminal case? Well, the judge just made a decision on that. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Everybody, this is another law and crime legal alert. So the Los Angeles wildfires are still making an impact, and it's estimated that these wildfires caused more than $250 billion worth of damage. The loss of life is immeasurable. And there are reports, though, that insurance companies canceled thousands of homeowners' fire policies in the months before the wildfire. The District of New York federal case. So the first decision concerns videos of the freak-offs, and we've talked about this before on other sidebars. You see, earlier this month.
Like the video, like the video. I promise y'all some Diddy updates. I'm giving it to you guys. Like the video, fair use, reaction clip.
Combs' attorneys had asked the court.
Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. Let's continue.
To order the prosecutors to electronically produce videos of the freak-offs. And remember what the freak-offs are, right? Prosecutors have alleged that Combs would intimidate, threaten, lure women into extended sex acts with male sex workers.
Like the video.
Threats, coercion, that Combs filmed and recorded these freak-offs. And these are key components of the racketeering conspiracy, the sex trafficking, and the transportation to engage in prostitution charges that he currently faces. And by the way, he's scheduled to go to trial in May. Now, the defense wanted copies of these videos handed over to them. Not just the ability to view them at, like, the prosecution's office. They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argue that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. And that data, that evidence, has to be material to preparing their defense. And here, Combs' attorneys argued material. The videos of these alleged freak-offs are at the center of the allegations put forward by the government. And they say, look, the government hasn't presented a real, legitimate, solid reason for why they shouldn't be turned over to the defense. It's not like we're dealing with child pornography or classified information where you have to have certain protocols put in place by how that material should be shared or disseminated. And they say, more importantly, these tapes prove our client is innocent. So Combs' lawyers wrote in a previous letter, having reviewed these videos.
Like the video, like the video. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue.
It is now abundantly clear that they confirm Mr. Combs' innocence and that their full exculpatory value cannot be investigated and used unless they are electronically produced. The 9 videos at issue are the so-called freak-off tapes with victim 1 that the government has repeatedly referenced, causing wild speculation in the media. Contrary to what the government has led this court and the public to believe, the so-called freak-offs were private sexual activity between fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship. Like many Americans in the privacy of their own bedrooms, they sometimes filmed their sexual activity. These videos unambiguously show that the person alleged in the indictment to be victim 1 not only consented, but thoroughly enjoyed herself. And by the way, victim 1 is with respect to that sex trafficking charge. And we believe victim 1 to be Cassandra Ventura. This is Diddy's ex-girlfriend who first filed that initial sexual assault lawsuit against him. In 2023, the person who was featured in that infamous footage from 2016 and dragging her in a hotel hallway while he's just wearing a towel. Remember what the prosecution claims. They claim that she was trying to escape a freak-off, that there was a male commercial sex worker in that hotel room, and that's what she was running away from. Now, their letter to the court said that victim 1 was, in these videos, quote, was happy, dominant, and completely in control, and that there's no evidence of coercion.
Now, y'all remember, they're trying to say that Cassie seemed okay in the video. And consensual. What? She was trying to run away. So there's so much conflicting stuff.
Or threats or manipulation, again, i.e. sex trafficking. The defense said there's no evidence that anyone is incapacitated or under the influence of drugs or excessive alcohol consumption, meaning maybe there was some alcohol consumption. There's certainly no evidence of sex trafficking. Moreover, contrary to innumerable sensationalistic media reports, the videos do not depict sex parties. There are no secret cameras, no orgies, no other celebrities involved, no underground tunnels, no minors, and not so much as a hint of coercion or violence. Far from the government's lurid descriptions, the videos show adults having consensual sex, plain and simple. At bottom, this case is about whether victim one was or was not a willing...
Who paid for the hotel? Who paid for the the food? Who paid for all that? You know what I'm saying? Cassie just did not seem happy in that relationship. And then if the bodyguards are saying at times she had to be whisked away to a hotel to allegedly heal from her bruises, where they do that at? And then even in regards to the children, their phones are taken away if they're with him. You understand? Hey, Quincy, I know you got 2 phones. Give up those 2 phones. Do your children have to give up their phones when they're with you? What's really going on with that? You know what I mean? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Mr. Combs. The videos confirm that she plainly...
Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue.
So consent appears to be the main defense to the federal criminal charges. And that would make sense, right? Because the idea would be, did they engage in sex? Yes. Did he transport her across state lines? Yes. But as long as there was no threats or fraud or coercion or illegal, sex acts or commercial sex acts, it's fine. It's legal. It's not sex trafficking. And so their whole defense here is this was all consensual, and these tapes prove it. We need these tapes. And also, I will say, in that portion, what I just read to you, they're trying to separate what Sean Combs is actually being accused of in this federal criminal case versus the claims that he's facing in multiple civil lawsuits. So just because in a number of lawsuits that he has been accused of, sexually abusing and raping men and children, that doesn't necessarily mean that that is what this criminal...
Can't confirm or deny if that's what happened. Can't confirm or deny. A judge jury's going to have to find out what really alleged happened in tapes. Like the video, like the video. Fair use, reaction clip.
Case is going to be about. And while there's been a lot of talk about celebrities involved in these episodes, and like he said, secret cameras and tunnels, they argue that a lot of this is speculation. The speculation about, what's on the Diddy tapes? They say, no. All of it's not true.
This is my dad, Chuck Norris.
Like the video, fair use, reaction clip. Let me know how y'all feel about the allegations, the documentary. What's going to really happen? Who's going to have to be subpoenaed and who's going to have to take the stand in regards to this May trial case?
And what these tapes are not. And they also highlighted something else. The defense also said these videos, another reason why I think we deserve them, and deserve copies of them, is they were taken from victim one's device, not Sean Combs. So the idea that he kept these videos as collateral or blackmail as a form of power and control over victim one doesn't hold water. And basically they asked the court to amend the protective order that has been put in place in this case to allow the prosecutors to turn these tapes over to the defense. This was an order from the court that dictated how information would be disclosed and shared and disseminated by the defense and prosecution. And as the defense called out in their letter to the judge, the protective order made this video evidence, again, allegedly of the freak-offs, quote, available for inspection only and not electronically produced. They said, court, you need to amend this. We deserve the tapes. And they also argued, by the way, that we need these videos, we need copies of these, because they said that the audio on the tapes, you can barely hear it, and the lighting is very bad, that the images are dark and grainy. So we need our own experts, our own defense experts, to enhance the quality and analyze the metadata. So now, back to Judge Arun Subramanian's order that came down yesterday. What did he decide? Well, Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, while the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit. To the extent these options are insufficient, the defense may propose other options to the government. It doesn't appear that the defense did this before raising the issue with the court. The parties should have these discussions, and if they really reach an impasse, the defense can come back to the court. And if that happens, they should be prepared to clearly articulate why they need possession of the videos despite the options furnished by the government. So, Combs and his team, they don't get the tapes, and Judge Subramanian seems to be, calling out the defense a bit. Like, you really could have worked this out.
Like the video, fair use, reaction clip.
Out with the prosecution before, right? Did you really need the court to step in? Did you even ask the prosecutors how you might be able to regularly view and analyze the tapes as you see fit to prepare for your defense? So, look, this issue maybe revisit it if they really can't figure out a way to make all of this work. And look, it's not surprising that the judge just won't allow the defense copies of these tapes and amend the protective order. I mean, essentially, we're talking about sex tapes, right? Key pieces of evidence in this case is very private, very sensitive. Got to be careful about how this is handled. And let's not forget, Sean Combs is...
So what do you guys think is going to happen in May? What celebrity will be called out? What's going to happen in regards to this superseding indictment? What's going to happen in regards to the racketeering part of it? But I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to cover.
Quite an important signing, so we thought we'd let you watch. If we could, I'd ask Will to explain the first, but really more importantly, explain the second, and we'll start signing. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Just 2 items for your signature today. The first is the formal commission appointing Chris Rochelot to be the Deputy Administrator of the Federal Aviation Administration.
Right.
And since the commissioner position since the administrator position is currently vacant, he will act as the administrator since he's now been appointed deputy.
And he's a very capable guy.
Extremely experienced in aviation and highly regarded in the industry and in government.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Second, for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA Administrator, in this case acting FAA Administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. Elevating competence over everything else instead of the DEI policies that were pursued by the Biden administration.
I think everyone understands that. And Obama.
Yes.
Both of them. Okay, but Biden much worse. Not even a contest. What they've done is just crazy in so many other ways. Okay?
Mr. President, to be clear, are you saying race or gender played a role in this tragedy?
It may have. I don't know. Incompetence might have played a role. We'll let you know that. But we want the most competent people. We don't care what race they are. We want the most competent people, especially in those positions. And you're talking about extremely complex things. And if they don't have a great brain, a great power of the brain, they're not going to be very good at what they do, and bad things will happen. It's going to be quite an important signing. So we.
So he's signed a lot of executive orders. Have y'all noticed that? Okay. This is the Jeannie Mai situation.
I want to do my walkthrough. That's the court order. Let me do my walkthrough, and what I'm personally checking for is my belongings. I moved my whole life from Los Angeles to here. I also had a baby here. I lived in this house. I decorated this whole house. So yes, I absolutely want to make sure that my things are taken with me as
In addition to what's packed up.
I want to make sure. I can't say for addition. You might be right. He might have packed everything for me, but I deserve a walkthrough because of court order. So that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to, I might walk out empty-handed. I just want to make sure that my house that I know is coming with me.
Okay.
And so it's leaving with just his house being his.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That I can tell which items are in each box, which is fine. I just want you to know if it takes me a while, understand why. Because I can't point out.
I have all day. I mean, I know you probably don't have all day, but whatever it takes.
I got all day.
We're all good.
We're totally good.
I mean, so for reporting purposes, I appreciate you giving me this.
The furniture that you came with. Is that correct?
So didn't they say Jeannie had a 30-day window to do all this, and she took time to do this?
I lived in this house. I decorated this whole house. So yes, I absolutely want to make sure that
So they're
my
reporting
things
it for
are
some
taken
reason.
with me as I.
In addition to what's packed up.
I want to make sure. I can't say for addition. You might be right. He might have packed everything for me, but I deserve a walkthrough because of court order. So that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to, I might walk out empty handed. I just want to make sure that my house that I know is coming with me.
Okay.
And so it's leaving with just his house being his.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That I can tell which items are in each box, which is fine. I just want you to know if it takes me a while, understand why. Because I can't point out.
I have all day. I mean, I know you probably don't have all day, but like, whatever it takes, just
I'm glad you have all day.
We're all good.
We're totally good.
I mean,
Okay.
so for reporting purposes, I appreciate you giving me this.
The furniture that you came with. The furniture that.
So y'all let me know how y'all feel about Jeannie Mai Jeezy. They got married around the time, during the time in regards to the pandemic. She had already said what she liked. Then she married him, so she was called out when they were getting a divorce. And then there's been a lot of back and forth in regards to parenting time, in regards to the relationship, what was said, what was done. This situation, Jeannie Mai and Jeezy, I don't think they should have got married. If they would have dated for 4 years, they would have been broke up and it wouldn't have even been an issue. But since they got married, and I think they had a prenup, you guys be careful who you marry. I mean, if there's major culture differences, what do you think's going to happen when you have a child? There's going to be even more culture differences. So, were they a good fit? I don't know. Did she help boost his career a little bit? Yeah. What is Jeannie doing now? I don't know. But Jeannie, when they were married and dating, she used to like to trend and go viral about different stuff. Oh, look how he loves me. Look how he loves me. And then, of course, when they got a divorce, it was kind of like, and who would she date next? Who would Jeannie date next? Who would Jeezy date next? So, that's a whole situation. I guess Kylie returns to the runway. Like we said, Kim wanted her to definitely look like her in certain situations. I don't know what you call that. And have you noticed Kim's not doing a lot of different runways? It seems like it's Kendall and Kylie. But I guess people were kind of like, okay, Kylie is with Timothy, but what else is she doing with her life? And then have we seen Timothy with Kylie's children? Some say it's a PR situation. Some say they need Timothy to help, you know, with media attention, clicks, and views. Oh, so I was kind of right. It's basically saying big family. Please, Sierra and Russell Simmons plan to have a fifth child. So I was right. She is pregnant. Congratulations to Sierra and Russell. Huge family. Huge family. Okay, was there anything else? Yeah, this was interesting. I don't know. Sometimes people make clips of Rihanna, and sometimes the clips don't be looking real. Okay, so let me set this up. Rihanna is next to Kris Jenner's boyfriend, and they're just talking, and it make it look like ASAP Rocky is jealous. You got to understand, Kris Jenner boyfriend Corey likes to get next to celebrities. He was real cool with Diddy. He was real cool with Kim Porter. R.I.P. to Kim Porter. So now we have a video of Corey being next to Rihanna. Why? He's also been spotted around Jay-Z. Corey likes to be around famous people. So I think this is a plot plan too. I do. And I can't confirm or deny if Rihanna's trying to get the K's and the J's removed from the Met Gala. That might have been a plot plan from them stating that. So all of a sudden, Corey spotted around Rihanna. That's interesting. How did you find her? What made you be in the same vicinity, same room? I'm side-eyeing that. And it was reported that Rihanna allegedly showed up to court to support ASAP. Okay, this is another thing. Alabama Barker addresses the claim that she's pregnant by Tyga. Now, you got to remember, Tyga was with Black China, and they had a child together, and they was living together. Then Tyga started dating Kylie at what age? Allegedly kicked Black China out to let Kylie move in. Allege. Now, who is Alabama Barker? Alabama Barker is Travis Barker's daughter, stepmom to Kourtney Kardashian. If you did not know, Alabama Barker had different situations of her texting Bad Baby's boyfriend. Now there's a situation. Now, if you did not know, Soldier Boy went off in regards to Soldier Boy went off in regards to Bad Baby, whatever her name is. So I'm hoping this is not true. I don't know if she's doing stuff to trend and go viral. I'm not certain. I'm not certain what's going on with her and the different celebrity men. I'm not certain. Okay, we already talked about Diddy. Many people are talking about Diddy. Heidi Klum's son hit the runway. People still talk about Diddy in regards to the indictments. This was Trump years ago in regards to Wendy. And this has been a back and forth situation in regards to Jay-Z and Attorney Busby. So well wishes regarding that. Let's see. More stuff about Diddy. And alleged 2 more victims. Oh my goodness. Stuff in regards to Busby. Amber was with Trump probably at the inauguration.
Efforts. We understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, have made to our great country, and America is back.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI, anti-woke efforts, we understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans.
So there's that. I don't know there was going to be an issue for them to even say something about Black History Month.
Administration is thinking about.
Okay. Is there anything else? I can't confirm or deny if that's going to happen to him.
But the implication that this policy is new or that it stems from efforts that began under President Biden or the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Let's go back.
The cited FAA text that you read is real, but the implication that this policy is new or that it stems from efforts that began under President Biden or the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is demonstrably false. It's been on the FAA's website. No, it's on the website, the FAA's website. It was there in 2013. It was there for the entirety.
What I read.
It was there for the entirety of your administration too. So my question is, why didn't you change the policy during your first administration?
I did change it. I changed the Obama policy, and we had a very good policy. And then Biden came in, and he changed it. And then when I came in 3 days ago, I signed a new order, bringing it to the highest level of intelligence. Okay.
It's on the website.
Please. Quiet.
The cited FAA text that you read is real, but the implication that this policy is new or that it stems from efforts that.
A lot going on. A lot of executive orders have been signed. I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate everyone for being here. About to go grab breakfast with my boo, my bae, at some point on his lunch. So I appreciate everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. Fair use, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing on comments or alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye. Focus on healthy, safe relationships and be around people that's loving,